The Dallas Cowboys have made a move that could change the trajectory of their franchise for the next decade. In one of the most shocking and talked about trades in recent NFL history, Russell Wilson is officially a member of the Dallas Cowboys. That's right, the Super Bowl winning quarterback, once the face of the Seattle Seahawks and more recently with the Denver Broncos, is now wearing the star. For Cowboys Nation, this news is not just exciting, it's transformative. It marks a bold shift in strategy and an aggressive signal that the team is no longer content with early playoff exits or mediocrity. With Wilson's arrival, the message from ownership to the locker room and fan base is clear: it's Super Bowl or bust. This isn't just about upgrading the quarterback position, it's about overhauling the team's identity and injecting a championship pedigree into a roster brimming with potential but lacking postseason success. Jerry Jones has long been criticized for meddling too much or for being too loyal to familiar faces, but this move breaks that mold. It's a risk, a big one, but it's the type of risk that defines dynasties. Wilson brings with him years of playoff experience, a reputation for leadership, and perhaps most importantly, the ability to make plays when they matter most. He's a quarterback who has thrived under pressure, who knows what it takes to win on the biggest stage, and who has been waiting for the right opportunity to return to prominence. The Dallas Cowboys might just be that opportunity. Now, let's talk about what this means in football terms. Wilson is a massive upgrade at the most important position on the field. While Dak Prescott has had his moments, including multiple Pro Bowl seasons and impressive statistical performances, his postseason record leaves much to be desired. His inability to carry the team deep into the playoffs has been a lingering issue. With Wilson now stepping into that role, the expectation is not just to win games, it's to win in January and February. It's to make those big-time throws in crunch-time situations that separate great teams from championship teams. Wilson's mobility, his ability to extend plays, and his leadership in the huddle bring a dynamic the Cowboys have sorely missed. He's not the same player he was during the Seahawks Super Bowl run, sure, but his arm strength, decision-making, and presence are still elite. Paired with the offensive weapons Dallas has, Wilson might finally be in a situation where his talents can be maximized again. Speaking of weapons, let's take a deeper dive into this loaded Cowboys offense. CeeDee Lamb continues to prove he's one of the best young receivers in the game. His route running, hands, and ability to rack up yards after the catch make him a quarterback's dream. Then you've got Michael Gallup, who provides a big play threat with his size and athleticism, and the newly acquired George Pickens, who adds even more explosiveness and toughness to the receiving core. That's three legitimate threats lining up for Wilson to target. And we're not even talking about tight end Jake Ferguson, who has quietly become a reliable red zone option and safety valve. Add in Tony Pollard in the backfield, a back with breakaway speed, good hands, and underrated toughness, and you've got one of the most balanced offensive arsenals in the league. Wilson's job will be to orchestrate this group, to spread the ball around and take what defenses give him, something he's done better than most QBs in the league. The offensive line, while not as dominant as it once was in the early 2010s, remains a solid unit. With veterans like Zach Martin anchoring the interior and young talent emerging at tackle, Wilson should have enough protection to execute at a high level. Defensively, this team is equally exciting. Micah Parsons is an absolute game wrecker. He's one of the most feared defenders in the league and a legitimate candidate for Defensive Player of the Year every season. His speed, instincts, and versatility make him a nightmare for opposing offenses. Whether he's coming off the edge, dropping into coverage, or spying the quarterback, Parsons is a Swiss Army knife who will benefit immensely from having an offense that can put up points. Why? Because it forces teams to throw, and that's when Parsons is at his most dangerous. Behind him, the linebacker core is improving, but it's the secondary that should give fans the most optimism. Trayvon Diggs is a ball hawk, capable of changing a game in a single play. Yes, he can be aggressive to a fault, but with Donovan Wilson re-signed and solidifying the safety position, the back end of the Cowboys' defense looks as good as it has in years. Add to that a deep rotation on the defensive line that includes DeMarcus Lawrence and emerging young pass rushers, and you've got a unit that can get after the quarterback and force turnovers, the two things that win games in January. But as exciting as all this is, the pressure is enormous. The NFC is tough. The Philadelphia Eagles are still elite. The San Francisco 49ers remain a juggernaut. The Lions, yes, the Lions, have become a real contender. And then you've got dark horses like the Packers and Vikings. The point is, nothing is guaranteed. Wilson will have to prove himself all over again, prove that he's still the guy who can lead a team through adversity, silence doubters, and raise a Lombardi Trophy. The Cowboys haven't even been to an NFC championship game in almost 3 decades, and that kind of drought hangs over every season. Jerry Jones is 82. He wants another title badly. And he's not interested in moral victories or slow rebuilds. That's why this move was made. This is about winning now, not later. There's also the factor of chemistry. How quickly can Wilson learn the playbook? How will he mesh with new teammates? What happens if there's a losing streak? Will the pressure crack this team or galvanize it? These are real questions. But what's also real is the upside. The ceiling for this team with Wilson is sky high. This is not a rebuild, this is a reload. And if everyone buys in from the coaching staff down to the last guy on the bench, there's no reason this team can't make a legitimate Super Bowl run. Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator, will be instrumental here. He's worked with Wilson before and knows how to tailor a system to fit his strengths. Expect to see a mix of play action, rollouts, and deep shot staples of what made Wilson so dangerous in Seattle. But also expect more modern wrinkles, designed to get the ball out quickly and keep defenses off balance. The key will be getting Wilson comfortable and confident and keeping him upright. Then there's the mental side of the game. Wilson is known for his positive attitude and leadership, but let's be honest, his stint in Denver was rocky. He'll be out to prove something. He's heard the criticism. He's seen the memes. He knows people are questioning whether he still has it. And if there's one thing that motivates great athletes, it's doubt. This is a redemption arc for him, a chance to remind the league who he is and what he's capable of. If he can harness that and translate it into performance, watch out. The Cowboys could become the most dangerous team in the league, not just because of their talent, but because of their mindset. Cowboys fans are some of the most passionate and loyal in the world. They've endured heartbreak, underachievement, and countless next year will be different seasons. But this year might actually be different. With Wilson in the fold, the stars have aligned quite literally. It's going to be a wild ride, full of drama, high-stakes games, and unforgettable moments. Every snap, every throw, every play will be scrutinized. But that's what makes football great. That's what makes being a Cowboys fan such an emotional roller coaster. And that's why this season feels so special. Ultimately, the Wilson trade isn't just a football move, it's a culture shift. It's a declaration that the Cowboys are done waiting. They're done settling. They're swinging for the fences. And when you have a quarterback with Wilson's or a roster full of talent, and an owner willing to do whatever it takes, you've got a recipe for something big. Will it all work out? Will they hoist the Lombardi Trophy when it's all said and done? Time will tell. But one thing is certain, the Dallas Cowboys are going all in. And with Russell Wilson under center, the journey to the Super Bowl just got a lot more interesting.